Greetings, family. I'm coming to you with just a short interview of our nature based wellness practitioner here at Oyun Botanical Gardens. For those who know me, you know I'm an interviewer at heart, I'm a journalist at heart. I am the host of a radio show on 89.3 FM. So I'm always wanting to interview people, but I wanted to interview Carol for the sake of you all hearing from her about her journey in nature based wellness, her personal journey, and also the things that she offered here at OU Botanical Gardens and what inspired those things. And then also help you to get an understanding of what she really offers and what is offered here at OU Botanical Gardens that you may not know. So, first, Carol, first of all, I'm so grateful that you're a part of our team because it's such a natural. If I start to go and talk about our whole story and how we landed here, this will have to be a 2 hour video. So I'm not going to do that. We'll do that on another video. I want this video to be for people to be introduced to you, to who you are, what you offer, how you were inspired to offer, and what it really means for you to be a nature based wellness practitioner at OU Botanical Gardens. So, Carol, who is Carol and how did you get in nature based wellness, just personally? If you could talk about your personal journey.
Well, I really have to start as a child and with my grandmother, who was also named Carol. She knew the names of all the plants, all the trees. She cooked everything from scratch. She even knew
Wow.
the names of all the shells, the different kinds of shells. And she really instilled in me this love for nature. Fast forward, I got into the corporate world. I was doing all of that kind of work, but there was still something that was calling me back. So when I got an opportunity to work as in the nonprofit sector at Truly Living Well over back in 2011, I got reconnected with the land. And out of that, I found my passion, I found my grounding, I found what it is I want to do for the rest of my life. And that is helping people to connect with nature, connect with themselves, increase their wellness through that connection.
Love that. Love that. So it was really at True to Living Well, Center for Natural Urban Agriculture, where you found your way into this going full time, essentially full circle. Now you're full time into nature based wellness. So did
Well,
that start? Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Go
Now, I
ahead.
was going to say, while I was at Truly Living Well, I always have to give props to Ras Kofi
Mhm.
because I was talking about how I was interacting with so many people who were coming to the garden for healing. And he said, that's a thing. And I said, a thing? What are you talking about? And he introduced this concept called horticultural therapy. So, of course, I did my research. I went back, I got my certification, and began bringing that programming at Truly Living Well. But now, praise God, I'm bringing all of that program to OU.
Yes, yes, I love that. And horticulture therapy, a lot of people may not have heard the term or, don't know what that is. Can you just explain what essentially is horticulture therapy?
Very simply, it is intentionally using connection, interaction, plants, plant material for health and wellness. So,
Mhm.
whether you're dealing with something like anxiety or stress, or something physical where you're having some motor sensory issues, whether it's a senior and you're dealing with Alzheimer's or dementia, or you're a child and you're experiencing some issues on the spectrum. Nature has solutions and answers and aids to help all of us. So,
Mhm.
what I do with horticultural therapy is identify what the challenge may be and then look at how can we incorporate nature, natural practices, plants, plant medicine, all of these things in our healing, our well-being, our ability to grow and be better than who we are and where we are.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I remember seeing that even looking at a picture of nature can
Oh,
help with
mhm.
anxiety or bring down stress. So, let alone, going outside, being in nature and having these experiences. And I've watched you over the last past year here at OU Botanical Gardens offer your services, offer your experiences, and people love it. I mean, you have from children to adult, men, women, children, all of them come out. What are some of the things or activities that you find yourself doing with the community when you're introducing them to horticulture therapy?
Well, the first thing I always do is get us to slow down and stop. Just 5 minutes of being in nature, looking at trees, breathing deeply can affect your nervous system. And so we always start with just slowing down, mindfulness moment, as some people will call it. And then the other thing I do, I like to focus in on a theme or particular issue so that people can I can wrap activities, information, knowledge around that particular theme. Coming up real soon, we're going to be talking about summer wellness. You know, in the heat of the summer, people get overheated, they get exhausted, they get overwhelmed. How do we regulate ourselves so that we don't experience all of that? I'm going to talk about some herbal allies that will help us do that this summer.
I love that. I love that you've introduced the community to herbal allies. Your tea time class that you do here is amazing. You see so many people. People are into herbs and they're into teas, but I love how you have your experiences have had people to really be exposed to herbs they never heard of, mixtures of teas they've maybe never done before, and talking about how to. I love how you talk about how do you listen to the body and then respond with your herbal allies. Can you talk about your tea time experience, which I know you have taken around the country, if not the world? I believe I know around the
Not the world yet, but
okay,
definitely
not
around
the
the
world.
country.
Yeah, I know it's been around the
But
country.
thank you for speaking that.
Absolutely, absolutely. But just I just wanted to shout out that people are loving the tea time experiences that you do for them. But can you talk about the tea time experiences as tea time as well as Carol's horticulture therapy experiences are her two staple experiences here at Oyun that you can experience every month. If you just keep up with our calendar, you can always get a dose of Carol and her greatness at least twice a month. But talk about your tea time experience. What inspired that, and what's your desired outcome for when people come and experience tea time with you?
Well, tea time started with a simple way that I can. Well, I started with the horticultural therapy, and that's such a big word. And some people don't like to be out in nature. They don't like the bugs and things like that. So I started thinking about how do I have a gentle way to first get people connected with nature? And tea was the answer. We're always drinking tea. It's a part of, our culture. So I started with looking at what kinds of herbal teas can benefit people and helping open their minds to, for example, hibiscus. Hibiscus is a delicious tea, tarty taste, but it also is great for high blood pressure, regulating your blood system. So I'm having you taste the tea, experience the tea, but now we're opening that door to wellness. And what I found that wherever you are, all over the country, it doesn't matter where you grew up or where you live, there are plant-based medicines in that environment that support your health and your wellness. And so over this journey of tea time, we explore different kind of herbs, what those herbs are used for, what their energetics are, and how we can incorporate that into our lives for our well-being.
And the beautiful thing is that not only do you offer the experience here, but people can purchase your teas, and they are amazing. Have you seen a bestseller? Have you seen one that's super popular with your customers?
I will tell you every week I've got a different one that I think it is the best one. But I think the thing I want people to understand, these tea blends, it wasn't even about just selling tea. These tea blends came out of the work I've been doing in how do we help people? How can we create an herb blend that supports their wellness or a particular issue? So one of my favorites this week, because I've been working out in the garden and I got some sore muscles, I've been doing the turmeric milk.
Ah, that's
That
my favorite right now too.
yeah.
Yes.
It's got turmeric, it's got ginger that helps with digestion, inflammation. It's got ashwagandha to help calm down the nervous system. It's got cardamom. It's got a little cinnamon in it for the circulation. And it's got one or two other things, but all of that is a dynamic combination that helps with your wellness, especially if you're tired and achy. I do it warm at night, and I just developed a iced tea
Mm.
version that I'm like in the day, it's hot outside. I'm a little thirsty. I'm chugging this down. So not only is it refreshing, but it's also aiding my body.
Lavish. I love lavish living. You hear me say that all the time. I love lavish living. And it's nothing like having natural, organic, chemical free produce and tea blends that can elevate your lived experience. That's what we really want. Okay, so I just want to close off this talk with what do you have something coming up. I'm not going to announce it here. I feel really eager to announce it, but I want to announce it in this video. But you're going deeper into herbalism. You just recently became certified as a herbalist. So you're now certified as a herbalist. You're now certified as a horticulture therapist. You're doing these experiences at Oyun and around the country. What is your desire? Like, what is your vision, for the work that you're doing? What do you hope for out of this work? What do you hope for out of this work that you're doing?
Well, one of the things that we know that if you would look at from a global perspective, most of the people around the globe actually use herbal medicine as a form of wellness. Here in the United States, there's a whole different system that we operate under. So, what my goal is in this time have left on the earth is to help people get connected with herbs in their environment for their well-being, mental, physical, and spiritual health. And I know that we can do that through getting back to our connection with the earth. When God created it, He put everything here for our benefit. We've just got disconnected with understanding how to utilize it for our benefit. So that's the quest that I'm on right now.
I love that. Well, you're doing a beautiful job, and I thank you so much for the work that you're doing. So happy to have you here at Oyun Botanical Gardens. Listen, y'all, just again, keep up with our calendar because Carol does amazing. I'm talking about packed full classes every month. She does two of them. She does a class and she does, well, both of them are experiences because she doesn't just teach like lecture style. She's going to have you doing something. She's going to have an experience. You're going to leave not only knowing something, potentially knowing something new, but also with a call to action. How do you put that in place? And so it's always worth you coming out. Make sure you stay tuned. Register for those classes. Registration is required. Her sessions are open to the community. They are sponsored by her company, Seed Planter. And so it is, we do have space limited. Register if you do register, and you just make sure you come because you are filling a spot that someone else could be filling. And so we definitely would hope to see you soon. Carol, do you want to close with anything to our community?
Just to say, please come again. I look forward to meeting you, interacting with you, and sharing whatever knowledge I have. When we get knowledge, it is not for us. We are just a vehicle. So whatever comes in, we want it to pass through and be a blessing.
Absolutely. Remember, follow us on social media. We're there. All of our experiences are announced on social media, and we also put them on our calendar. So at any point in time, you can go to Oyun Botanical and go to our events page, and you will see them there. And of course, stay tuned to our newsletter. Peace and love, y'all. See you soon.